super empaths, chosen ones. It was difficult, but you made it. You made it through. At the moment, you might still be trauma bonded. You might be missing the good times, inverted commas. You might be, still in pain, but you've made it through. And there's something I want to bring to your attention, right? The best time of that relationship, the best time where you felt like that person was so good and loving, at that time, during the love bomb, at that time, you were at your lowest point. The world is an illusion. You were at your lowest point at that point in time, during the love bomb. Let me explain. You were so asleep to the wicked behavior and the toxic behavior that you thought you were in love. You thought it was a two-way street. And that's why that is the worst time. That is the most painful time. And that was when you was at rock bottom. After the discard, or you had to leave them because it got so toxic, or where you're at now if you're still trauma bonded, or you've gone through periods of silent treatment, ghosting, all of the toxic stuff, right? All of that pain does not amount to the amount that you was asleep during the love bomb when you thought you were in love. Okay? So now you're actually at your highest point possible. You're on top of the mountain. You was way down in the valley. Yeah? You was way down at the bottom, right? When you was in the love bomb, but you thought you were at your highest. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It will take 2 seconds of your time. Thank you. You've made it through. Round of applause. Trust me, it's hard work. I'm not even being sarcastic there. You deserve it. Like, if you've broken free, like, even if they discarded you, you broke free, you escaped. You were too much for them to handle. They had to ghost you. You know they always ghost. They always ghost or disappear because you're too much to handle. They took on more than they can chew. That's why they ghost. Or when you expose them and then they ghost. So don't worry about no pain. This pain is a beautiful thing now because you were so asleep. That's why you're in pain now. You were in such a deep sleep. You know, when you're in such a long sleep sometimes, right? And then you wake up and you're still tired and you got the brain fog and you're like, oh, where? You know, when you have a proper deep sleep, you know? That's what you've been in. So naturally, when you've come out of that now, you're going to be a bit disorientated. You're going to be a bit in pain. You're going to be in these things. But I want to tell you that that's natural. You've made it through. That's natural for you to be feeling like this. I haven't heard anyone ever emphasize what I'm delivering on this point. And it's true what I'm saying. The lowest point was during the love bomb. Lowest point, man. We was at the bottom. We was in the scraps. We was in the rubbish. We really thought we were with someone. We had future faking. We thought this was our person. You know, they told us things like, oh, I'm never going to want anyone else in my life. They told us all of these lies. And we sat there and soaked it up and believed it. And God knew. God saw us. The universe saw us and saw us in that state and said, I'm going to make this person reveal who they truly are to them. You know, because we was in such a deep sleep. So the angels and God and the universe brung out the worst in the narcissist. That's why they often go so hard on the super empath. God knew what we was. The universe knew what we was. They knew what we will endure. If we endure this awakening, then we'll be on better things, right? We'll be on better terms. Don't worry about any of that pain that you're in now. Yeah, it's going to go. I'm telling you, time don't heal, but through time you'll learn how to deal with it. I'll never stop saying that. It's not easy, but you're on top of the mountain now. And now you got to step away from this pain. You got to step away from the pain and descend down the mountain. Start descending down. It's peaks and valleys. Just descend down. You've liberated. Leave that there. Right? You're actually at the top now. But now you need to walk back down in your own life. Forget about them. If you understand what I'm trying to say. You know, you was at the bottom. Now in your most painful time, it's actually the biggest blessing and achievement ever. But we can't stay dope forever. We can't stay on the mountaintop forever with this view. So we need to go back into other adventures now. We need to get on our purpose. So, you know, we got to start descending down the mountain and climbing another mountain, climbing to another top, because that top that we're going to climb now, that's why I say, go for your next stage now. You're here. You've gone through so much. Write a book about it. You know, do a project about it. Write a song. Sing a song. There's so many things we can do. Start a business. So start heading for that next peak on the next mountaintop, right? You've conquered that whole space of the other mountain. You're at the bottom where you thought you were at the top. And then when you was at the top, you think you're at the bottom. But now it's about stepping away from that whole place to do with the narcissist and descending down to go and eventually climb to the other side. Trust me, you've been through it. You've been through so much. Use it to your advantage now. You have the power. You have the strength. You have the discernment to see through these snakes. No longer can someone come around you and masquerade with artificial light and trick you into getting into your bed and trick you into getting into your life. No longer that's going to happen, because you've been divinely appointed with a pair of eyes that can see through them now. You'll see them all around you, scattering everywhere. At the workplace, in your family members, everywhere. Thank God we met that narcissist. Thank the universe we met that narcissist. We've been awakened. That was what their duty was to do. We was a blessing to them. They had a chance to change. They had a chance to embrace what they had. They had the opportunity. God gave them an opportunity and brought a super empath into their life for them to have an opportunity. And on the flip side of that, when push come to shove and it was too much and they weren't changing, God caused a divine intervention to take place and separate us beyond their comprehension. No matter what words they threw out, no matter what actions they'd done, it was beyond their comprehension. They're controlled by demons. God controls the demons on a higher scale. Yeah, He allows evil to happen because this world is only a test. And in the hereafter, everything's held accountable for. Right? Everything will be held accountable for. So, just know that what's happened has happened. A gift from God and the universe to show us and give us a pair of eyes that now sees behind the veil of these toxic creatures. We had to know the bad to know good. You've got to understand that we allowed these individuals into our life that was nothing but bad news. But how did they trick us? We thought they were good. That's because we didn't know what good was. We didn't know what good was. So God and the universe brought the bad into our life to show us what real good is on the other side. Because now we've experienced the bad. They had their opportunity with us. They had a chance to change. They had a chance. Sometimes even for decades. They had a chance to change, but they chose not to. They can't even, God blinds those. You know, because they were causing so many errors and sins and errors and more errors and sins and errors and sins and errors, because they were causing that, right? God began to blind them. The universe began to blind them. So they can't repent. So they can't turn back on their sins. So they can't turn back on their mistakes. They can't turn back on their errors. They have to stay stuck in a one-track mind because they are blinded. They cannot see, right? So God has blinded them. God has denied them repentance. Leave them be, right? They had their opportunity with us. They didn't take it. They will suffer the consequences. Check out my other videos. The narcissist still misses you. Things like that. They have lost out on a super empath. It's a rare type of person, which is yourself, that was brought around a toxic person. And they unleashed their worst on us. They unleashed their worst on us. You know why? Because they saw our brilliance. They saw how powerful we are. And they come into our lives to destroy that. They come in our lives to destroy that. So if you're hurting now, if you're in pain, just know that you haven't been destroyed. You have made it through till now. You're educating yourself on videos like these and other content creators. You're educating yourself. You're awake. As I mentioned earlier on, you've accomplished the whole mountain. You was at the bottom. I will repeat this again because it's powerful. Just hear me out again. You was at the bottom of the mountain. And you was in the rubbish at the bottom of the bottom, right? And you thought you were at your highest point. You thought you was in love. You thought you had a soulmate. You thought you had someone to rely on. But you was actually not in love. You were not at your highest point. You was at the bottom of the mountain. Now, with all this pain you feel, with all of this suffering you feel, with the trauma bond you're trying to break, with the demonic soul ties you're trying to break, with the rumination about the narcissist you're trying to break, you're at this point now at the very top of the mountain and you're not at your worst. You are not at your worst. I will repeat it. You are not at your lowest point. You are at your highest. And I know it's confusing. That's because you've been gaslighted. That's why it's confusing. You've been gaslighted. You've been put through the smear campaign. You've been love bombed. That's why it's confusing for you now. So you've got all of these tendencies and all of this inner pain that you're feeling, but you don't understand that that pain is actually beauty. It's something you should rejoice in. Right? They've gone. God is showing you that you don't need to be caught up on them. Don't worry about it. Within time doesn't heal, I'll say again. But through time, you will learn how to deal with it. You are going to become stronger. You are going to become spiritually evolved. You are going to find your purpose. You are going to realize that these narcissists denied you of your purpose. You're going to realize that they denied you of something great. And they denied you of that because that's what they had a mission in their mind to do. They had a mission in their mind to destroy it, but they didn't entirely destroy you. Through the time, you had self-defense mechanisms in place that mirrored the narcissist back, that caused the narcissist grief, that inflicted narcissistic injuries, which caused the narcissist to either go on a complete rage that made you separate, or it made them go on a complete rage, smear campaign, devaluation, ghosting, and discarding you. Okay? That's what happened. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. As I will say, look for the future now. Embrace this pain because it is a beautiful thing. You're not suffering. You're not. You have got a few things left to do, right? Remove the idea that you was in love with someone. You was in love with a devil. You was in love with the devil. It's not that they didn't love you back. It's that they don't know how to love. They don't know how to love. They tried their best to love you with what they can do, but they can't love. They copy what others do. They copy what's in the films. They copy the person walking down the street. They think, oh, this is what I do because they're doing it. They pretended to love. They don't know how to love. So never be caught up on thinking that they didn't love me. Oh my God, everything was a lie. They're a lie. They don't know what love is. So forget about them. You can get something greater. It's never too late. You're never too old. You're never too past it. But what I will say is many subscribers and people that leave comments and stuff like that have mentioned how they've got into singing. I mentioned on my previous video about subscriber who'd written a book. You know, there's some that are writing music. There's some that are just enjoying being alone. Many of us are just enjoying being alone, loving our alone time more than we was with the narcissist. And that's what will happen. That's part of the trauma bond. The trauma bond is like a codependency issue that keeps you feeling like you need this individual in your life for you to be sufficed, for you to be happy, for you to be okay. Once you come past the point of feeling like you need them in your life to be okay and to survive, it is a significant step. You've already made a significant step because you've got this far, right? Because you've got this far and it was difficult, but you made it. That's the whole point. They put you through nothing but misery. They put you through nothing but devaluation. So do not clutch on to that period of the love bomb. It was non-existent. They were pretending. They don't know how to love. They're deranged weirdos that actually copy love, like the films. They don't know what love is. They don't have empathy. They're devoid of empathy in their prefrontal cortex. These lot are deranged weirdos. So what I will say, right, is if we have 3 points, right, to aim for. Break the trauma bond. By realizing they're a devil. Break the soul tie by learning to love alone time. And break those two will do. Break the trauma bond, break the soul tie. So you break the trauma bond by realizing you was with a devil. That's it, plain and simple. You break the soul tie by learning to love to be alone. And that, by learning to love to be alone, will have a knock-on effect and will break your codependency issue. We can't be codependent. We went through a period in our life. Things come in stages. We don't need someone else in our life to be happy. We don't need someone else in our life to do that. We're born alone, we die alone, and that is how it is, right? So if we can meet someone empathetic for the journey, then so be it. But don't rush out there. Take your time to heal, right? And you can heal through your ventures. You can heal through music. You can heal through writing a book. You can heal through running down the road and screaming, I am free from these narcissists, right? Cut them off. No contact. Trust me, you deserve a lot of praise. You deserve a lot of praise for what you endured. And it's hard. We was asleep, man. We thought we was in love. We were so asleep. It's unbelievable. So that's why when you awaken now, it's hurting you so much. But that hurt is nothing but a beautiful gift from God. So anyway, just be proud of yourself for where you are and keep moving forward. Let's climb that other mountain now and look at something like our purpose to achieve. The goal is not just being in a relationship with another person. The goal is bringing something like you're an empath or a chosen one, super empath, here to do is bring your unique gift to the world. You've got a unique gift. And trust me, you'll find it. You will find it. It will come to you. Bear patience. Bear patience. Don't worry. You're going to be good. Anyway, please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It'll take 2 seconds of your time. And if you want a one-to-one session, you can find the details in the description box. Anyway, I'll catch you all soon. Peace.